public meeting today, September 8th, 2020, and I'll call the meeting to order. With us this morning is John Christopherson, Deputy County Attorney, and Jolene Sanchez, Clerk to the Board Administrator. Ms. Sanchez, would you call the roll of the board, please? Commissioner Conti?
Good morning. Good morning. Commissioner Sharp? Here. Commissioner Baker? Here. Commissioner Jackson? Here. Commissioner Holland?
Okay, I suspect Commissioner Holland will be joining us shortly. Commissioner Baker, would you please lead us in the pledge?
I certainly will. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America,
and to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation
under God, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And, Mr. Christopherson, are there any modifications to the agenda this morning?
There are no modifications today.
Thank you. I'll ask for a motion to approve adopt the agenda as presented.
Madam Chair, this is Commissioner Conti, and I'll make that motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second. Motion made by Commissioner Conti, seconded by Commissioner Jackson. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
And Commissioner Holland, are you on the line? Okay, so Commissioner Holland is absent and excused on that vote. Now is the time in our meeting where we will have citizen comment period. Michelle, is there anyone on the line who would like to make a comment during this open comment session?
There's no one on the line at this time.
Okay, thank you. We have one set of minutes to approve this morning. It's our public meeting, August 25th. 2020. Commissioner Conti was absent and excused. I'll entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, this is Commissioner Baker, and I'll move to approve the public meeting minutes for August 25th, 2020.
Motion made by Commissioner Baker, seconded by Commissioner Jackson. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Madam Chair, this is Commissioner Conti, and I will ask to abstain.
Thank you, Commissioner Conti. And Commissioner Holland again is absent and excused. Consent agenda. There were no changes to the consent agenda, so I'll ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second. Motion made by Jackson. Yeah, motion made by Commissioner Jackson. Do I have a second?
Second, Commissioner Conti.
Seconded by Commissioner Conti. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, motion passes with Commissioner Holland absent and excused. We have one general business item this morning, which is the temporary no parking ordinance 2020-03. Our presenter is Jim Katzer, Division Manager, Public Works and Development. Our attorney on this matter is Mr. Robert Hill, Senior Assistant County Attorney. It's not a public hearing, but Mr. Hill, is there a foundation?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I'm here to introduce and read the proposed ordinance number 2020-03. This is an ordinance to establish temporary no parking zones and to control and regulate the parking of vehicles on county roads in and around areas and designated road improvement, repair, and maintenance projects. We will ask for the board to approve the draft resolution that goes with this. After I have read the ordinance, the resolution will set a public hearing date for September 22nd, 2020 on this proposed ordinance. And the ordinance will have been published in the newspaper on September 10th if the board sets this hearing for the 22nd. At this point, I'm ready to commence reading.
Please go ahead, Mr. Hill.
Arapahoe County, Colorado, ordinance number 2020-03. An ordinance to establish temporary no parking zones to control and regulate the parking of vehicles on county roads in and around areas of designated road improvement, repair, or maintenance projects, and providing penalty provisions for violation. Whereas Section 43.2-110, parentheses 1, subparts A and B, Colorado revised statutes require the Arapahoe County Board of County Commissioners to designate primary and secondary roads in unincorporated territory of the county and to adopt, after public hearing, the official maps of roads as the county road system, and Section 43.2-111-1 assigns the county road system to the county for construction and maintenance. And whereas Section 30-11-107-1H CRS authorizes the board to lay out, alter, discontinue any road running into or through the unincorporated territory of Arapahoe County and to perform such other duties respecting county roads as are or may be prescribed by law. And whereas Section 42.4.110.1 authorizes the local authorities, such as the board, to enact and enforce traffic regulations on roads and streets within its jurisdiction. And whereas Section 42.4.111.1A CRS allows local authorities, such as the board, to regulate and prohibit the stopping, standing, or parking of vehicles on roads and streets under their jurisdiction and within the reasonable exercise of the local authorities' police powers, provided that official signs or other traffic control devices conforming to and authorized under state law standards are placed in a manner to provide lawful notice of the regulations. And whereas Section 30.15.401.1H CRS authorizes the board to adopt an ordinance to control and regulate the movement and parking of vehicles and motor vehicles on public property. And whereas Section 42.4.1813 CRS authorizes any county to establish by ordinance or resolution procedures for the removal, storage, and disposal of abandoned or illegally parked motor vehicles. And whereas through these statutes, the board is vested with broad authority over county roads and road rights-of-way, including the authority to designate temporary or permanent no parking zones on county roads and to make provision for the continued and proper improvement and maintenance of such road rights-of-way. And whereas the board finds that motor vehicles that are parked in a manner so as to obstruct county road construction, repair, and maintenance projects inhibit the performance of the work to perform and complete the projects and cause delays, increasing the cost of the projects and thereby reducing the amount of funds available for other needed road projects, all to the detriment of the traveling public and taxpayers in Arapahoe County. And whereas pursuant to the above recited statutory authority, the board desires to adopt an ordinance to establish that it is illegal to park on county roads at locations where and when such parked motor vehicles will interfere with or obstruct the performance of county road improvement, repair, and maintenance projects, and upon the posting of conforming and lawful signage to provide notice of the project and that parking is prohibited at the specified location for the period necessary to allow for the performance and completion of the project. Now, therefore, be it ordained by the Board of County Commissioners of Arapahoe County as follows. Section 1, Applicability. This ordinance shall apply to those areas of county roads that are designated as temporary no parking zones pursuant to the authority delegated under Section 3 of this ordinance by the Director of the Arapahoe County Department of Public Works and Development, parentheses, the Director, and where such temporary no parking zone is designated by signage posted in accordance with applicable law and regulation. Section 2, Temporary Parking Prohibitions. No person shall park a motor vehicle within a temporary no parking zone duly established and posted pursuant to this ordinance. Section 3, Designation of Temporary No Parking Zone. The Director is authorized to establish temporary no parking zones for county road improvement, repair, or maintenance projects at such locations where the parking of motor vehicles on the road will interfere with or otherwise obstruct the county project. And temporary no parking zones may be established only for such duration as is needed for the project. The director shall develop procedures to be approved by the board for establishing such temporary no parking zones, for posting temporary signage to designate the temporary no parking zones in accordance with the Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices and any other applicable law or regulation, and pursuant to Section 42.4.18.13, Pran 2, CRS for the tow and impound of motor vehicles illegally parked in duly established temporary no parking zones. Section 4, Enforcement. The Arapahoe County Sheriff and his deputies shall have the power to issue citations for violations of this ordinance, and in accordance with the procedures approved by this board for towing vehicles, to order the tow and impound of motor vehicles illegally parked in any temporary no parking zone established and posted in compliance with this ordinance. Section 5, Penalties. A. In accordance with Section 42.4.1204.3b CRS, any person who violates any provision of this ordinance commits a Class B traffic infraction and shall be subject to the fines specified under the Arapahoe County Model Traffic Code ordinance as duly adopted and in effect within the unincorporated territory of the county for violation of parking regulation 1204 of the Model Traffic Code. The penalty assessment procedure, B, the penalty assessment procedure set out in Section 16.2.201, Pran 1.5, and Pran 2, CRS shall be followed in accordance with this ordinance. C, all fines for violation of this ordinance shall be paid to the Arapahoe County Sheriff Traffic Violations Bureau Clerk, who shall deposit the fines into the Arapahoe Law Enforcement Assistance Fund. D, in addition to the penalties prescribed above, persons convicted of a violation of this ordinance shall be subject to a surcharge of $10 that shall be paid to the clerk of the court by the defendant as provided in Section 30.15.2.2a CRS. Section 6, Interpretation. This ordinance shall be so interpreted and construed to effectuate its general purpose to regulate the parking of motor vehicles as and where necessary to eliminate interference with county road improvement, repair, or maintenance projects in conformance with the state's uniform system for the regulation of motor vehicles and traffic and the Arapahoe County Model Traffic Code. Section 7, Severability. Provisions of this ordinance are hereby declared to be severable if any provision, clause, sentence, or paragraph of this ordinance or the application thereof to any person, establishment, or circumstances shall be held invalid, such invalidity shall not affect the other provisions or applications of this ordinance. Section 8, Effective Date. This ordinance shall take effect 30 days after the final publication following adoption. And that is the proposed Model Traffic Code and the proposed temporary no parking ordinance. At this point, if the board has any questions, Mr. Katzer and I are standing for those questions.
Okay. Board, are there any questions, either for Mr. Hill or Mr. Katzer?
Madam Chair, this is Commissioner Holland.
Go ahead, Commissioner Holland.
I just want to acknowledge that I'm present on the board. I had trouble getting on the telephone.
Okay, thank you. Any questions on the... Yes, go ahead, please.
This is Nancy Jackson. I'm just wondering, did I hear you say, and did I see the amount of the fine? How do we set that fine number? How do we decide what the fine will be?
That's actually established in the Model Traffic Code. Whereas if you look, I think I referenced Section 1204, which is illegal parking. Okay. I think it's currently something like $12. I'm not exactly sure what the number is. It's not substantial. And actually, one of the things that as a county we're on our list to get done is to update our Model Traffic Code and the schedule of fines, which would be by state statute what the fines are. But the Model Traffic Code adopts that state statute.
Okay. It did seem to be exceedingly low and probably not.
Yeah, it's not a substantial fine. I think the bigger issue is going to be if there's a need to tow and impound a vehicle.
Yeah.
That will be a larger cost for that person to, recover the vehicle from the impound lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I would recommend, even if we do have to recommend to the state or whatever, that we take a look at those fines. Okay, that was my only question. Thank you. Any other questions? Mr. Kessler, do you have anything that you would like to add?
Thank you, Commissioner Sharp. I just wanted to add that this would be a huge benefit to the department in getting our work done efficiently and in a timely manner. So appreciate your support on this. I have nothing else to add.
Thank you. Michelle, it's not a public hearing, but are there any citizens who would like to make a statement or a comment on this particular item?
There's no one in the queue at this time.
Thank you, Michelle. If there are no further questions, I'll entertain a motion. Madam Chair? Go ahead, Commissioner Jackson. Okay. I've reviewed the proposed ordinance number 2020-03 as presented and read, and hereby move to approve and adopt a resolution setting a public hearing before the Board of County Commissioners on the proposed ordinance for September 22nd, 2020 at 9:30 a.m., and further ordering that the proposed ordinance be published in full in the Villager newspaper at least 10 days prior to the public hearing. Have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Jackson, seconded by Commissioner Holan. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, motion passes unanimously. And are there any commissioner comments this morning? Okay, hearing none, meeting is adjourned. Thank you.